Welcome to For Good Measure, an interview series celebrating diverse composers and other creative artists. I'm Nanette McGuinness, Artistic Executive Director of Ensemble for these times. In this week's episode, we continue our Da Capo Conversations, a mini-series where we'll be giving familiar segments a topical twist. Today we revisit Monica Chu's and Madeline Clara Cheng's perspectives on who or what inspires them. Here's what Monica Chu had to say.
There's so many composers that I don't know, and every day I hear something by someone that I would love to play whose music I don't know very well. And this morning it was Adolphus Hailstork Scherzo, which I just thought was fantastic. And I'm not going to try to enumerate all the contemporary composers that I think are underrated, but I'll just say that recently I've really enjoyed learning the studies in African rhythms by Fred Ono-Vorosuoke. And those are pieces that I think are so fun, and I hope to keep them in my repertoire forever. I have unsections, etudes on my piano desk. They're very difficult, so they may not ever make it out, but I totally love them. And you know, the past few months, I've heard music by Rina Esmail and Aida Shirazi that I would love to learn. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. I'm not going to go on and on and on because I'm going to leave somebody out. But there's never enough time, and the list is always growing. So it's actually, it's true. It's one of my great joys is actually doing music research, which basically just means listening to lots of music and figuring out what I could possibly program next.
Yeah, it's true. It's a little like being in a toy store or a bookstore or a candy store. All the shelves are in front of you and you wander down one aisle and discover more and more wonderful selections. So you're like, I want to do this. That's terrific. I love this. It's really amazing how much good music and how many good composers are out there when you just start to tiptoe along just a little bit. So one leads to another, yeah.
It is. It really is.
Here's what Madeline Clara Cheng had to say.
Oh, there's been so many people that have been very instrumental, no pun intended, to my music journey. I think if I listed everyone, we'd be here for another few hours. Off the top of my head, though, I think, well, most recently would be a lot of my professors and a lot of my peers at USC. I would say, like, my first composition professor here was Veronica Krausis, who was also very involved in Luna Lab. And I also had Brian Head, who I'm going to be studying with next semester, who like kind of really nurtured my compositional voice and made me sort of like realize that like what my artistic voice is, and that anything I write will inherently be a part of my voice and my story, which was really meaningful to hear. I also worked a lot with Kame Ayewa, who her stage name is More Mother, which more people might know her more by that. But she really got me a little bit more into the electronic space and more into this like experimental phase, which was really exciting. And I'm really excited to see who else I get to learn from more at USC. A lot of my peers have been major inspirations to me as well. Both performers and composers with their, inherent, creative aspirations and how they're just not afraid to go for what they want. I love being at USC Thornton School of Music specifically because it doesn't feel ever like we're competing against each other, even when we're applying for the exact same things, because everyone is on their own creative journey and we just get to support each other in what we want to do. But I'd be remiss to not mention the reason why I get to be here in the first place, which is the Luna Composition Lab. I think I never would have even considered going into the music industry otherwise. I have no idea what I would have, like at this point, I have no idea what I would have done if not for music. But when I was at the time when I was in Luna Lab, I was in the 2019 to 2020 term, which was unfortunately the online term. But
Right.
I still learned so much from that. We even had just this one workshop where there was a bunch of like arts administrators, people who work behind the scenes, music publishers too, people who aren't the like forefront artists that always
Hmm.
get the most attention. But I for some reason I had never even considered that there were that many possible avenues that you could be in the music industry. And as soon
Hmm.
as I saw that, I was like, "Whoa." Like that's so amazing. And then seeing all of these incredible working composers, seeing Missy Mazzoli and Ellen Reed do their thing was so inspiring to me because I it just never really like I'd never really seen it in front of me that you could be you could be a working composer, that you could thrive in this industry. Because I'd always, especially where I grew up, it was always like, oh, like you're gonna be like a starving artist, you can't live that way. Like music is just like a hobby you put on your application for college admissions, or but it's not something you seriously consider
Real.
pursuing. Yes, and I'm sure like many of my relatives are secretly thinking that as well. But I'm doing my own thing, and I will figure it out, and I'm already really happy with where I am and where I'm going.
No, that's really great. Who was your mentor for the Luna Composition Lab?
It was Tamar Muscal, absolutely lovely person. She also was very instrumental in shaping my sort of musical journey. That was one
Mhm.
of like the first like formal trainings I had as a composer.
Oh, wow.
Before it was a lot of, figuring things out based off of what I already knew about performing music. But
Right.
she was so important to my musical development. We actually like called recently, and because she's New York based, I'm hoping to meet up with her in person for the first time.
Right.
So it's she's so wonderful, and she taught me so many things about both how, how to write music, but also like how I write music. There's so many
Hmm.
things that like I did and I didn't realize that she noticed all these patterns, or so many things that I didn't realize I was quote unquote good at, that she was like, "Oh, but like the way that you shape this, you have a really good ear for this." I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I should lean into this more. Maybe I should embrace this." So
Yeah.
I owe so much to her, and I'm so excited to see her. But I had no idea how formative Luna Lab would be in my compositional journey. It is without a doubt the most important thing that has happened to me in my musical career. I like to say that it's the gift that keeps on giving. I
Hmm.
mean, I said I was a 2019-2020 fellow, and look at this incredible way that I've gone to connect with Ensemble for these times. I never would have gotten that without Luna Lab having this call for scores with you. So I'm super grateful for them. Um, just every year I think like they've got to be done with me at this point. And then something new happens. I was so grateful to I got to go to Amsterdam because Ellen Reed had a concertgebouw residency, and she
Mm.
had one of my pieces programmed there, and I thought that was a scam email when I first received it, but then I realized that was too specific to be a scam email.
Right. Right.
Um, I looked it up. It was all legit. I just couldn't believe it. But it really is the gift that keeps on giving, and they just it seems like they just cannot stop providing incredible opportunities for not only their current fellows, but also so many alumni that have been with them for years and years.
We think very highly of what they're doing. It's an amazing program. And when we were thinking of who we might want to do a collaboration with for a call for scores, their name came right to mind because there's such a synergy in the missions of their organizations and ours. And I think they're great. So
Oh, it's so wonderful.
thank you for listening to For Good Measures Da Capo Conversations, and a special thank you to our guests for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast by clicking on the subscribe button, and support us by sharing it with your friends, posting about it on social media, and leaving us a rating and a review. To learn more about E4TT, our concert season online and in the Bay Area, or to make a tax-deductible donation, please visit us at www.e4tt.org. This podcast is made possible by grants from the California Arts Council, the San Francisco Arts Commission, Grants for the Arts, and generous donors like you. For Good Measure is produced by Nanette McGuinness and Ensemble for These Times and designed by Brennan Stokes, with special thanks to co-producer and audio engineer Stephanie M. Neumann. Remember to keep supporting equity in the arts and tune in next week for Good Measure.